Hi everyone, welcome to Land and Sea. I'm Jane 80. Usually on Land and Sea, we take viewers off the highway and get into this province's beautiful communities for stories. Well, today's show is actually about the highway and a particular sign that you might have been noticing for many years now, 30 years to be exact. It's a quirky bit of Newfoundland and Labrador graffiti that you might have wondered about. Well, wonder no more. Today, we reveal the mystery of the Corey and Trina rock. If you travel the Trans-Canada Highway in this province as much as the Land and Sea crew does, you'll be familiar with certain landmarks that catch your eye. Traveling from Grand Falls, Windsor east to St. John's, some notable conversation pieces that help break up the drive. In Gander, there's that metal plane, a reminder of the international airport nearby. 30 minutes or so after, there's former Premier Joey Smallwood's head, beckoning drivers to stop and look out over scenic Gambo. And there's this giant outside a gas station, the Gooby's Moose standing guard. All along the ride, there are, of course, smatterings of spray paint, romantic markings on otherwise plain rock faces. Another amorous addition appears a few minutes before the turnoff for Bellevue Beach. On this stony canvas, a succinct message of love. And the names? A reminder to drivers of a certain age of an adored musical and comic duo from the past.
Those northern lights that shine so bright in the skies of Labrador.
Corey Crew and Trina Fulford performed for more than 3 decades. Songs like this one brought loyal fans to their shows at packed clubs all over the province. Sadly, Trina passed away of cancer in 2007.
Well, we're little Newfie singers and we got smart fingers and we're loved everywhere we go.
Corey Crew keeps her memory alive and still sings the songs they were known for in the 70s and 80s.
Newfoundland Herald gonna see our picture on the cover. Herald gonna send 5 copies to my mother. Herald.
At his home in Mount Pearl, memorabilia everywhere from their days on the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
You were pretty famous.
We didn't think we were. But we just, all we thought about was that we were drawing crowds.
I am a rich nobleman's daughter.
We got 200 people on Saturday, and we'd get 180 on Friday, and on Sunday we'd get 150, you know. So I always come back with a pile of money and gave it to the bank. One of the biggest places we played was Fogo Island. Yeah, that was big.
Tell me what you loved about your time on stage with Trina. What did you love about it?
Well, number one, I always wanted to be an entertainer from a boy, from the Elvis days. And so she wanted to do it just as bad as I did. She wanted to sing and be on stage. And of course, I was in my glee to have a partner that wanted to be like me. And so I was always happy on stage because she was happy on stage. And the two of us, we portrayed that, you know, to the audience. They loved Trina, yeah. They loved her singing. They loved the clothes that she wore. She always had dresses made, beautiful dresses made, you know.
Was the night before Christmas, I was snug in my bed with visions of Hibernian oil in my head. In my sealskin cap.
They did come out from my comedy, of course, but I do believe that Trina was the main attraction.
They loved each other dearly. And so, as a gesture of affection, just when did they paint that rock on the side of the highway?
And everybody thinks that we painted that rock, but we didn't.
Corey says they always believed it was put there by an appreciative fan.
We played in so many places, and if the rock is out around Bellevue, well, we did Arnold's Cove and Sunnyside and Come by Chance and Bellevue and Moorlands, and you know, we did all that area and down in Placentia, you know. So we figured somebody in that area must have put the Corey and Trina name on the rock, and thought no more of it than that.
The musicians always thought of it as their rock, and so did everyone who passed by. Over the years, did people mention the rock to you?
All the time. Everybody said, saw your name on the rock, you know. Even to this day, even last week, a lady came and said, and I came in from Clarenville. I said, did you see the Corey and Trina rock? Yeah, we saw the Corey and Trina, passed along by it, yeah. Everybody, they always see it, yeah. And they always think it's myself and Trina, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone in the province does. Well, not everyone.
We are the Corey and Trina.
When we come back, solving a mystery for motorists. The true story of this loving landmark 30 years after it was painted. Just before you get to the turnoff for the community of Bellevue in Newfoundland, there's a rock on the side of the highway you can't miss. On it, the names of a husband and wife musical duo.
C for Corey and C for Camp.
Corey Crew and Trina Fulford were adored for their 35 years of entertaining all over the province. Most, including Corey Crew, have always assumed someone dedicated the rock to them. Over the years, you've got a lot of pleasure from that rock, have you?
Yeah, I still do. I still appreciate it very much that was done, yeah. I'm sort of up there with Joey Small. With Joey Small, we got you to look out in Gambo. I got my rock in Bellevue.
But a few years ago, Corey was on a Newfoundland history page on Facebook, and that's where he says he learned the rock-hard truth. A shocking discovery of another Corey and Trina, the couple for whom the rock was painted.
Broke my heart because I didn't want to know. I always wanted it to be me and Trina. Yeah, but now, of course, I got to share the rock.
Yeah, it's like a landmark, right? And you're gonna find out.
Meet Corey and Trina Sharp of Grand Falls, Windsor.
I'm from Grand Falls, he's from Windsor.
And I'm proudly from Windsor.
Yeah.
Sweethearts since high school and married, well, for a really long time.
We just opened our third bottle of gravy brownie.
One August day back in 1994, before they tied the knot, Corey's parents and his sister Krista were driving into St. John's. His sister was about to start nursing school.
You know, they were having some good laughs and stuff on the way out, and Mom and Dad were sad, of course, because their little girl was going off to school. So anyway, on the way out, my sister found a tin of paint in the car.
Inspired by some of the local artwork she'd been seeing on the drive, Corey's sister decided she might like to make a mark.
They were taking a turn and saw this lovely rock sticking out, like a triangular point sticking out towards the road, in the most dangerous spot on the road. And anyway, she told Dad to hit the brakes. Actually, it was Corey's.
Winston Sharp, being a doting father, pulled over to the side of the highway. So you guys made your way down there. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
Tricky spot to get down off the highway.
Probably trickier now than what it was then, right? Because, you know, we didn't have any trouble getting down there, so. But it's, I can remember it now, like it was yesterday that we did it, and it doesn't seem that long, really.
It was 30 years ago. They painted the names in bright white paint. Corey and Trina, 94. Winston remembers they put thought into the placement.
Now, Dad, you got to make this. We can't go out around the edges too much. It's got to be made. It's got to be done right. It's got to be done perfect, right? So.
We would have asked Corey's sister for her memories too, but on the day we visited, she was rather appropriately on the highway to St. John's, passing right by her family's artwork. Corey recalls the first time he saw his family's dedication.
Well, we were looking for it everywhere, and we didn't really know where it was to. It was just like, you know, for people off the Avalon, is you get out so far east, is all out St. John's, right? But anyway, there it was. Yeah.
It's hard to miss, isn't it?
Very hard to miss, yeah. If you're driving to St. John's, and you're going to see it.
Well, Corey will usually say the rock is coming up. So get out your camera. We usually do a video every time we go. We take a really quick shot if we can, right? And then we'll go, woohoo! And we're always excited to see it. And then there's times when we will stop and take a picture if we're daring enough to get at the vehicle, because it's a busy spot. It's always fun to see. We always make sure we look for it every time we go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big cheer goes up.
Oh yes, always the big cheer. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah.
So we're like anticipating it for 5 minutes and then talking about it for another 5 after, right?
That's right.
And other people they've met over the years are clearly talking about the rock too. Trina says whenever they introduce themselves as Corey and Trina, they're inevitably met with a question about the highway.
They'll say, yeah, oh, are you the ones on the rock on the way to St. John's? And we'll usually say, yes, we are. It's not the singers, it's us. Yeah. I can sing, Corey not so much. Yeah.
That's your standard line.
Yeah, that's the standard line, yeah. Always. Yeah. You feel a little bit famous, I guess, yeah.
People will be glad to know that you're still together.
There you go.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There you go.
Still going strong.
Still going strong,
Yeah,
that's right.
absolutely. It's so awesome that it's still there, right? And like Dad said, paint was better then because it lasted 30 years, right?
I guess people would want to know where you got that paint.
Canadian Tire.
Yeah, and just start to fade out in the last couple of years.
And when it did start to fade, Corey and Trina had good intentions.
So especially when we'd go to St. John's or back, we'd always say, oh, we gotta touch that rock up soon, right? Well, anyway, you know how life goes, and you didn't do it this time. We got to do it the next time, and we never did get to do it. So.
And then one day, they noticed the white gleam had been restored.
And all of a sudden, it was like, holy, someone touched up our names, and they did a really good job. So I blame my friend Rob. I credited him with doing it, and he denied it forever. For like a year and a half, right? And he said, no, didn't do it. But we were convinced that he had done it. So eventually we were like, well, he didn't do it, I guess. Who did?
We'll keep chipping away at the mystery when we come back. About an hour and 10 minutes west of this iconic piece of Newfoundland graffiti, you'll find the community of Musgrave Town. Bill Campbell and his wife Isabella have enjoyed summers here with friends and family for decades.
Been a lot of changes. When I was little growing up here, I mean, we'd skate in the winter. This would all be frozen. And I mean, we'd skate, skidoo. We'd come in cars down to the end of Kenny's Cove and drive on the ice. But now we don't even get ice down this far in the winter now.
The view is spectacular, and their waterfront property is sprawling. So expansive that Bill decided early on he could use a hand with the upkeep.
I cut this lawn once. I said, I'm not doing that no more.
Enter this man, Corey Bladen, and his wife, yep, you guessed it, Trina Bladen. Corey, a local businessman, had been doing odd jobs on the side to earn extra money to send their kids to university. So he saved Bill the trouble and mowed his lawn from time to time. And through that, the couple became friends. Now, like many people who travel the highway to St. John's, Bill and Isabella had always taken notice of a particular bold boulder.
There's a lot of rocks around. None of them are outstanding like that one. It seems to be, sticks right out in your face.
They asked their friends, Corey and Trina, about their connection to that painted promotion. Turns out their names weren't the only coincidence.
I think if it just said Corey and Trina on the rock, it wouldn't have been as eye-catching, but when I saw the year, and the first time I do remember saying to her, wow, it's got the year we got together. So February 9th, 1994, met at a camp in Ontario, and that's where it all began, and it's kind of, well, it's our rock. It's got our year, it's got our names. If something's got your name on it, it must be yours.
And their rock has brought them great joy over the years.
Good feelings, definitely good feelings when we drive by. We always look for that rock when we drive.
For Bill Campbell, the rock took on new meaning. It was a reminder of his friends in Musgrave Town and a reminder of their work ethic.
Yeah, for someone to go cutting lawns, don't mind me now, but for someone to go out in the summer and cut lawns to make extra money to help put his 2 kids through university, that meant something to me.
So when Bill saw the message starting to fade a few years ago, he wanted to give it new life.
Sure enough, we were getting in the truck. He said, I got my paint and I got my brush, so we're going to stop on the way. He got down, which wasn't too hard. But when it came time to turn around and say, I'm done, okay, how are you getting off? So he said, there's a rope in the truck. So I took the rope out and I tied knots in it and I threw it down to him. And anyway, this is how we got him up out of there.
The task was risky, but a sentimental Bill Campbell says it was worth the effort.
It doesn't take a lot to be nice. It really doesn't. I don't know, as you get older, sometimes there's things you can do that are nice for no reason other than it might make someone happy. Find something that would make someone happy and do it and make them feel better. It's hard to believe that you can actually do something that makes you feel better than you're making them feel. It's a fact of life, Be a better place to live.
For Corey Bladen, the preservation of their special rock has filled him with gratitude.
When he touched it up, obviously he sees the meaning in it being there. And be it for the original Corey and Trina, because we didn't know at the time, or for us, or for whoever, he saw the meaning and the history in it and the importance. And to some people, they'd look at it and say, oh, that's graffiti. But to me, it's a work of art.
And the original Corey and Trina, they're eternally grateful too.
I guess the biggest thing for me is the fact that somebody repainted it so that it can continue to be seen. Because I guess that was something that we were afraid of. It was fading, and there was not a whole lot of paint left on it, I guess, when it got touched up. So we were pretty excited when we saw that it had been touched up.
Bill must have been reading our minds or getting the message or something there from our end as well, right? Yeah.
And as for Corey Crew, he's thankful to all connected to the rock. The original painters, the touch-up crew, and to anyone who's ever thought of him and his Trina whenever they've passed by.
Although they didn't do it for me and Trina, they actually did do it for me and Trina. I mean, if they hadn't painted the rock, if they hadn't repainted the rock, it would be lost. So they did it for me, even if they didn't think they were, But the rock will be there long after I'm gone.
What do you think Trina would think of all of this?
I think she'd be definitely out to visit these people and see who they are.
We took our cue from what Trina Fulford might have done and decided to bring them all together in person. So on a summer afternoon in August, we gathered at Bill and Isabella's.
Corey.
And Corey, Corey.
And you must be Trina.
You must be Corey.
Now, we're the Corey and Trina that they think's painted the rock.
A group photo by the rock would have made our story complete, but the highway is no place for a party. So we instead decided to bring the rock to you. It was a pleasure to be in the company of all these people who understand that it's the little things in life that often bring the most joy. Music and friends and laughter, and the small and kind gestures that create bonds between couples and among people. Bonds as solid as their beloved rock.